Diviértete, aprende e infórmate con Jump into Rionegro Bilingüe, un espacio para mejorar tu nivel de inglés y entérate de todo lo que acontece en Rionegro y en el programa municipal de bilingüismo.
Have fun! Learn and be informed through Jump into Rionegro Bilingüe, a space to improve your English level and find out everything that happens in Rionegro and related to the municipal bilingual program. Welcome! This program is sponsored by the Municipal's Mayor's Office, Rionegro Advancing More Together, and the Centro Colombo Americano.
Welcome to today's show, Jump into Rionegro Bilingüe.
We're your hosts, Bridget
and Maria,
and we're sure that you are going to learn and find out more information on what we are going to talk about today.
So for today's show, we're going to see if you can guess what we're going to talk about based on the following clues. Okay, Bridget, let's play.
Right, so here's the first clue. Put on your jersey.
What could that be related to? Can you tell our listeners what a jersey is?
It's a camiseta.
Exactly. So that's our first clue. Put on your jersey.
Okay, for our second clue, we have pump up those tires.
So wearing a jersey or camiseta. And the second clue, pump up those tires. Let's tell our listeners what that means.
It means to add air or inflar con aire. So the second clue is inflar las llantas or pump up those tires.
Do you know what we're going to talk about yet? Any guesses?
Right now, our final clue, prepare your route as we are going on a journey.
Okay, so we have the clue about wearing a jersey, then the other one about pumping up tires, and finally, preparing a route, or la ruta.
Today, we are talking about cycling, or montando en bicicleta.
That's right, so let's get on our bikes and pedal away.
Y ahora, give me 5.
So, to start, we're going to highlight the great improvements that have been happening in the Rionegro area related to mobility and transportation.
That's right, Bridget. You can really evidence all the hard work that has gone into improving transportation in Rionegro and how this, in turn, helps people in their daily lives by reducing commute time.
Not only commute times, Maria, but also promoting healthier lifestyles through the construction of ciclorutas or bike paths throughout Rionegro.
You're right. I mean, just last July, the Mayor's Office held the Ciclo Paseo Rionegro 2022, which had more than 1,200 people riding their bikes throughout the city and enjoying the new urban and rural roads that have been created.
Yeah, and the Bici Rio initiative, which offers people the chance to rent our public bikes to use in the city. Did you know that there are now 15 bike stations in Rionegro, with the most recent one opened in Barrio El Porvenir just last June?
Wow, I didn't know that. Definitely goes to show that the Mayor's Office is encouraging people to use greener modes of transportation and, of course, to take advantage of the great landscapes that Rionegro has to offer while riding their bikes.
That's right. I'm not a big bike fan, but the peaceful bike routes or ciclorutas that Rionegro has definitely makes me want to try them out.
I agree. Now we're going to talk to someone who loves cycling and who will tell us a little bit more about this great sport.
Ahora vamos con bilingual guests.
For this section of bilingual guests, we have invited amateur cyclist Juan Carlos Ruiz to join us and talk about cycling. Hi, Juan.
Hello there. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here.
Okay, Juan, to start off, let's talk about the type of cycling that you like to do, as there are different types.
Well, when we speak about types of cycling, we usually talk about road cycling, BMX, mountain biking. I specifically practice cross-country, which is a subcategory of mountain biking. And this is about riding off-road, meaning not in a regular street. It's about riding bicycle in the mountains, in tracks, in the nature. And it's about going uphill and going downhill.
Where are some great places that you can practice mountain biking in the Oriente Antioqueño?
Oriente is perfect for practicing cross-country. I would say that the first place that comes to my mind is El Tablazo. It has very nice tracks and beautiful landscapes. But I would say that whatever rural area in Rionegro or Llano Grande is a very good track to practice cross-country and to ride bike in nature. I particularly remember this route that you take near Marinilla, and it takes you to Guatapé. It's 100% off-road. It takes like 2 or 3 hours, and it's beautiful. It has very technical tracks. It's really cool. Other places that come to my mind are Guarne and San Vicente. They have tracks that connect to each other, that connect with Marinilla, with Rionegro, and they're just beautiful and interesting. But you know what? My favorite place to ride definitely is Santa Elena. It offers all kinds of tracks for beginners, intermediate, and advanced riders. You can pass by very green forests and rivers and lakes, and you can follow tracks that connect with Medellin, Envigado, Guarne, or Rionegro.
What about in terms of equipment? Is there anything special that you need to practice this sport?
The first thing that you need is a bicycle with at least a front suspension. We call those bicycles hardtails. To have a better experience, it's recommended to have a full suspension bike, which has a front and a rear suspension. The purpose of these suspensions is to absorb the impact when you are off-road. The second thing you may want to think about is your outfit. Always wear comfortable clothes, flat shoes, and more importantly, a helmet. Safety is first. 2 things that I always wear are eyeglasses and gloves. I like to protect my hands and my eyes. If you are going to have a very long ride, make sure that you always bring basic tools to fix your bike if necessary.
And finally, what tips do you have for anyone wanting to start practicing this sport?
Sure, some tips to improve your bike experience are the following. Tip number 1, always keep yourself hydrated. Make sure that you bring enough water. That's essential. Number 2, also bring food and sweets. I personally like to carry chocolate bars and peanuts. They keep me with energy and they're easy to carry. Number 3, always bring your cell phone fully charged. If you are going alone, make sure that you let someone know about the route that you will take. Number 4, always wear a biking helmet properly. Number 5, sunscreen. The biking market offers all types of products with very high prices. You don't need the most expensive things to have fun. Just enjoy the rides alone or with your friends with the bike and the outfit that you can pay for. The happiness is the ride itself.
Juan, thank you for sharing all of this great information on mountain biking.
Comenzamos con Culture Bites.
In today's Culture Bites, we're going to talk a little bit more about cycling culture.
That's right, Maria. Cycling is a really big thing here in Rionegro.
You got that right. And not only in Rionegro, in all of Colombia, really.
True. In April, the 17th version of the Clásica de Ciclismo de Rionegro was held, where 333 cyclists participated, as well as the Vuelta a Colombia, which had over 170 cyclists coming through Rionegro.
Talking about cycling competitions, right now the Vuelta a España is happening, and today is the mountain stage, which is the forte or strength for Colombian cyclists.
Yes, there are 8 Colombian cyclists in the Vuelta a España, including Nairo Quintana and Rigoberto Urán.
Colombians definitely love cycling. What about in the US, Bridget? Is cycling a big thing?
Well, you could say that the United States is not a bike-friendly country in general, with less than 5% of people that live there actually using a bike for transportation.
That is low. I think Europe is definitely a bigger fan of using a bicycle for transportation purposes.
Oh yes, Europeans love cycling, just like Colombians. If you look at the country rankings for cycling, the top 8 countries are all in Europe, with Italy being in the top spot.
Nuestra sección, Word of the Day.
We're going to refer to vocabulary about cycling.
That's right, Bridget. There are so many new words that we can learn about cycling. First, I want to start with an idiomatic expression. Have you heard the expression, "It's just like riding a bike"?
Of course, that expression is used to say that something is easy to do and it requires little practice. It's like the expression in Spanish, which is "es como andar en bicicleta."
I hadn't thought of that. Okay, now let's go over vocabulary to talk about what you need as a cyclist. So first, of course, you have a bicycle or bike.
Yes, that is the most important thing you need. We explained another element at the beginning of the show. Do you remember what it was? That's right, a jersey. Remember, this is a camiseta, but one that is used for cycling in this case.
Great. We also have the word helmet, which means casco. Helmet. Very important for protection and to avoid any accidents.
We also have bike shorts or pantalón de ciclismo. Did you know that they are also called culottes as they have that padded area at the bottom to make it more comfortable when riding a bike?
I had no idea. Definitely learning some new things here.
That's right. And last but not least, we have water bottle, which is where you keep water to stay hydrated. In Spanish, it would be botella de agua or termo de agua.
Great, so let's go over the new words we've learned related to cycling.
Okay, so we have bicycle, jersey, helmet, bike shorts, and water bottle.
Don't forget to practice these words at home and share them with your friends.
Nuestra sección, Study Tips.
For our last section of the program, which is Study Tips, we're going to give you some recommendations.
Now, do you remember our study tips from the last show?
I do. I wonder if our listeners remember.
So last show, we told you to repeat new vocabulary that you learned so that you can remember it. This is a great tip to practice the new words we just learned in our previous section related to cycling.
That's right, Bridget.
Okay, so connected to our tip from last show, the one we want to share with you today is to record yourself and listen back so that you can see how you did. You can identify pronunciation mistakes, grammar mistakes, as well as other things.
Another great thing to do when you record yourself is talk about the same topic again and again, trying to increase the time that you record. So let's say if we talk about cycling, you record yourself talking about that for as long as possible. Then check and see how long you took, and then try and record it again, adding more details to make it longer than the first time.
That's a great idea. Challenging yourself is a great way to try and improve how much you talk and to expand your vocabulary.
Exactly. Try it out and let us know how you do via social media.
And that's all the time we have for today's show. It was great to be able to share with you about all things cycling. We'd love to hear from you. So until next time,
we'll be here again next Thursday at 6:45 p.m. See you then.
También queremos escucharte. Escríbenos usando el hashtag Río Bilingüe 2022 y participa de este espacio de aprendizaje y multiculturalidad.
Gracias por conectarte con nosotros en Jumping to Rionegro Bilingüe. Recuerda sintonizarnos cada jueves entre las 6:45 y las 7 de la noche en COREDI FM 90.5, porque juntos avanzamos más. Hasta pronto.
Thanks for joining us today on Jump into Rionegro Bilingüe. Remember to tune in every Thursday between 6:45 and 7 p.m. on COREDI FM 90.5. Advancing more together. See you next time.